Public satisfaction with the NHS is now at its lowest level since 1997. Just 36% of you are happy with it. In fact, more people in England, Scotland and Wales are now dissatisfied with the NHS than satisfied with it. And I want you to tell me why. What has it been for you? What experiences have happened to you, your family or your friends? Because satisfaction has dropped 17% since 2020. And it's happened across all age ranges, genders, income groups and supporters of different political parties. So it's right across the board. Now, what I find fascinating is that there was an initial bump in popularity for our health service, wasn't there? We were outside clapping, people wearing rainbow badges, children in primary schools told to do artwork, thanking our beloved NHS. And then something changed. What was it that happened for you? The King's Fund, who conducted this research, said it was the most astonishing set of results they've ever seen. But I'm not sure it's that astonishing. I think there are a few obvious factors at play here. The NHS's total obsession with COVID is the main one for me. As other services were opening up, the NHS was lagging behind. I think people were sick and tired of being misdiagnosed over Zoom calls, and when they struggled to get appointments, it made them no longer feel safe. It increased their fear of getting ill. And if people feel like the health service isn't going to help them when they're at the most vulnerable, well, then they go off it, don't they? I also think many people have been disappointed with the vaccine. Not the rollout, but maybe the vaccine itself. The fact that many people are still getting seriously ill despite having 3 doses, are still able to pass COVID on to others, I suspect that among certain groups, resentment has built up over the NHS's and specifically GPs' relentless push to get jabs in arms. Again, I think if people feel disappointed with a product, then they tend to turn away from those pushing that product. And when people couldn't see their GPs because they were busy administering these vaccines, I think that resentment grew further. I think there was a bit of a PR disaster from GPs as well, wasn't there? Several of the profession's key bodies warned that GPs might quit if they were forced to see patients face to face. That was absolutely tone deaf and completely misjudged the public mood. It gave the perception that well-paid medical professionals were not doing everything they could to help reduce patient backlog. Now, I know there's been a lot of backlash to the NHS crying poverty while simultaneously employing diversity officers on 60k as well. In fact, the NHS's chief people officer is on £230,000. But I suspect that actually, there is something much deeper going on, more historic. I think most families in the country will have an NHS horror story. For all the good work it does, there are so many errors. So many people made better and then let down with poor care. So many people whose loved ones could have lived. Just look at the Shrewsbury maternity ward. Hundreds of babies have been left brain damaged and dead. I think a lot of people were very sceptical about the quality of care they receive in the NHS, and now it's come to a head. People are sick of the NHS being a sacred cow. People don't like to feel embarrassed. And I think there are a lot of people out there now who feel let down after painting those rainbows on their house, going outside and clapping. Maybe they feel a bit embarrassed about clapping for a sacred cow that's on its last legs.